Friday offer ends 30th of November. Hive products require broadband and Wi-Fi. Terms apply. At the Halifax, we know that catching up and checking in on each other has never been more important. So this year, when our customers couldn't come into a Halifax branch, we picked up the phone and gave them a call. We've made over 250,000 wellbeing calls so far, and we'll keep checking in on our customers throughout the winter months, just to see if they're doing okay. Halifax, it's a people thing.
Save £30 on Ancestry DNA until Cyber Monday, and discover the people, places and journeys that led to you, all for the lowest price of the year. Buy your Ancestry DNA kit today for just £49. Price excludes shipping costs. Offer ends 30th November.
Ah, the great British roast. When mobiles are set aside, the TV goes off, the family comes together, and everything stops. For the perfect roast, only Bisto Best Gravy will do. Made with real meat juices for that authentic, rich roasted flavour. Ah, Bisto.
At Lidl, we're big on the best Black Friday deals, with brands like Sharp, Panasonic, Vax, NutriBullet, Tassimo and many more. In Lidl stores from Friday the 27th of November. When it's gone, it's gone. Now that's become quality and always Lidl on price. Subject to availability, selected stores, excludes NI.
I know it's here somewhere. I just had the tab open, but which one? There's a million. Oh, not that one, not that one. Where are you, you shiny little phone? Oh, I know, search history. Oh, get rid of that. And that, delete.
Your search is over. Our best ever Black Friday is here. Save up to £400 on the stunning Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. Search your tool Black Friday.
On select tariffs, £40 off device plan and £360 airtime discount based on 36-month contract. O2 Refresh credit by Telefonica UK Limited. Eligibility and terms apply.
Nick Ferrari at breakfast on LBC. Call 0345 6060 973.
So in around 2 hours' time we'll hear the tiers explained, and we'll give you more detail on that in a minute or three. Let's continue with your reaction to the spending review from Rishi Sunak yesterday. Dennis in Alston, thank you for hanging on the line. Dennis, what are you going to tell me? Good morning.
Hello, Nick. First time caller.
Oh, great to have you on board. Thank you.
8 months ago, Nick, roughly 23rd March, I put myself and my wife into furlough. We've had our own limited company for over 20 years, pay tax every single year,
right,
corporation tax, etc. First thing I did was I paid tax for the period ending March 2020 because I was on a pay-as-you-earn scheme.
Right.
I didn't want it to affect my furlough claim, so I then went on to furlough claim and got told by the system that I was not eligible. So the process began, live web chats, telephones coming back from the HMRC, kept saying I was uneligible, but I wouldn't let it go. So I kept going, kept calling, kept live web mail, blah, blah. Eventually, in May, a man phoned me up from HMRC Technician Tier 3, right, and he paid me a month's furlough money.
Right.
And he said to me, once the money lands in your bank, go back on the system and make a claim for the following month. So I did.
Right.
The money arrived, went back online, not eligible. I then get a phone call in June to tell me that the guy that paid me in error and I had to pay money back.
Oh, for goodness sake. So where are you left now?
I've had nothing, Nick. I've got a P60 for the last 20 years. I've paid tax every single year, and that numpty, Rishi Sunak, doesn't know his arse from his elbow, excuse my phrase.
Okay, all right.
He went to the same school of intelligence as Boris Johnson in my book.
Right. Hang on. I can't understand. Have you got? You've obviously got an accountant.
I've got an accountant. I get paid yearly, Nick.
Can he or she explain why you've fallen through the crack? I don't understand why you've fallen through this crack.
Why I've fallen through, Nick, is very, very simple, right?
Oh, right, go on.
30th of March, he paid me a yearly salary.
Right.
He then filed the paperwork, which hit the HMRC office on the 6th of April. Unless you can prove that you were in pay-as-you-earn employment by the 19th of March 2020, you're not eligible for Rishi Sunak's criteria. So because my paperwork was filed on the 6th of April, I'm one of the 3 million. I don't qualify.
You pay yourself through a dividend?
I do, through the year.
I see. Okay, yeah, I've got it. So you don't just make a limited PAYE each month. Your accountant doesn't pay you a small amount for tax reasons in that fashion?
No, Nick. My annual pay for the year ending March 2020 was just under £9,000.
Right.
So it's not as if I'm going to claim 80% of £100,000.
No, I see. Okay.
It's just ridiculous. And all he keeps saying, every time people like yourself and other people in the media suggest that there's 3 million people, he comes up with some waffle and just doesn't answer the question. He's obviously been to the same numpty stool as Boris Johnson, who also can't answer questions. I've been voted Conservative all my life, all my adult life. Never again. They will never, ever get a vote from me again.
Thanks for that, Dennis. I'm sorry, again, all I can say is I'm sorry that you've fallen through the cracks. It's desperately difficult for you. Thank you for your input on that. All right, let's come to that spending review. We told you right at the start of the show, and indeed through LBC News coverage, that unfortunately some public sector workers have had their pay frozen. NHS workers and those in the lowest paid jobs get an increase. LBC's Rachel Venables joined with 2 public sector workers. We need to tell you that was done remotely, of course, so you don't have any concerns for theirs, or indeed Rachel's well-being, to watch the speech. One was a nurse and one was a police officer. One should benefit from a rise, the other most likely will not, and this is what they had to say.
Hi, my name's Martin Shaw. I'm a police officer working for Lancashire Constabulary. Most of your listeners will probably refer to me as a much hated traffic cop.
So my name's Mark Boothroyd. I'm a staff nurse in a central London A&E.
We're waiting for the Chancellor. We've seen the photos of him coming out of number 11. Do you have much of a sense of what you're hoping to hear from him today?
We've endured a pay freeze for most of the last decade, and that's a real times 20% pay cut. In the summer, lots of us organised protests around the country demanding a 15% pay rise to try and get some of that back, and we're just hoping the government's listened, because we're heading into the second wave of this pandemic and we've had no appreciation from the government.
Martin, what about you?
I think what's especially been demoralising for the police is that every day we come into work to a new set of rules, a new set of guidelines and guidance that we're expected to follow, which effectively is just using us as the government's muscle. We were promised a 2.5% pay rise that should have come in September, that we're still waiting on. Even if it's just inflation, if all the police and other public sectors are getting is inflation, then at least that's something we can cope with.
Okay, well I think Rishi Sunak's going to be getting to his feet in the House of Commons now. I'd be really interested to hear back from you guys what you think later.
Chancellor, we will provide a pay rise to over 1 million nurses, doctors and others working in the NHS.
I didn't hear any announcement about a figure for a pay rise. Whatever they offer, it's not going to go nearly far enough, given what we've lost the last 10 years, and just trying to convey just how demoralised people feel in the NHS, and once this second wave of the pandemic is over, we really face an exodus of staff.
Second, to protect jobs, pay rises in the rest of the public sector will be paused next year.
It's just a lot of noise. The amount of work that we're now having to do for this, just some recognition that it's a bit two-faced to encourage the public to go out and clap for us, and then the MPs to just slap us around the face just 6 months later.
But third, the 2.1 million public sector workers who earn below the median wage of £24,000 will be guaranteed a pay rise of at least
I was thinking, sometimes it's hard, you have to step back and be dispassionate. The country's in a terrible state. It's not just about my salary. I said, compared to what it will make to those low-income households that probably do need it an awful lot more than we do, that's fine. We'll have to budget slightly differently. We have to think things through. I understand it, but it does feel slightly insulting.
Rachel Venables reporting. You heard from Mark Boothroyd, an NHS nurse in London. Martin Shaw is a police officer in Lancashire. Thanks for that, gent. Suki coming to you in a moment on the budget. Let's also remind you, though, in under 2 hours time, in less than 2 hours, you'll be hearing more details on these tiers. Lucy in St Albans. Since lockdown, we've massively jumped up in cases. I don't know if coming out of lockdown yet is a good idea. Tony in Lee. Amazingly, people who say they're barely managing are all clamouring for pubs and restaurants to open, so they can pay £5 for a pint and 15 quid for a bit of pasta. Steve in London. The tier system has not been thought through. The substantial meal rule for tier 2 is illogical. Will kill some of the small family-run wet pubs around me. Ashley says this has nothing to do with the virus. It's all about control. When will people wake up? Suki in Southall. Let's come back to the spending review. What do you have to say on that? Good morning.
Oh, morning, Nick. Yeah, I was just listening to you about the 3 million people self-employed that have fallen through the prisons provided by the government. I think that if you're going to be self-employed, and I am, or have been since the 80s, I really thought the strictest definition of the term of self-employed in the sense of you don't rely on anybody else. Now, I found since the 80s, I started self-employed because I hate selling harm. I found that every 5 years, I took fall on the bones of my bottoms. You know, I'd be really in trouble. My lowest point, I was self-employed, commission-only life insurance salesman. My property was 40,000 negative equity. And I had 60,000 on credit cards, and I got 2 zero paychecks followed by 42 pence. Now, that was pretty low. And I thought, well, I just said, look, I've got more faculties. This too will pass. I thought, well, clearly, not a good insurance salesman. Try something else, you know. And what happens is every 5 years, I fall on my bottom. I'm a serial failure. So I say to these guys who are sort of struggling with that, this too will pass, you know. So I thought, what I want to do is do something to stress me out. So now I make them start going called poker.
You do what? Sorry, you do poker, did you say?
It's called poker. It struck me that the yoga is so miserable. You know, it's just a miserable form of exercise.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've never done it. I think some people enjoy it, but anyway, go ahead. Yeah. Right.
And I thought somebody recently made up yoga, so why not make a different style called poga? And I'm Punjabi, so I made a style called poga.
Oh, I see.
And it's just more chilled out.
Right.
You know, and it covers the bills. I'm not rich, but I'm happy, you know. And soon, you know, I'm sure my clients think, this is rubbish, I'm not paying for this. Well, I was thinking something else. It's not a big deal, you know. And life is hard.
Hold on. Go on. I was going to say, look, right, you're in your 50s. And all you know is pulling pints. And I don't mean this in a derogatory way. You spent your whole life in pubs. You've been a barman or a barwoman. You love it. You love the interaction. All you know is how to make drinks and da-da-da-da-da. And you're 55. What are you going to do then, mate?
Well, whenever I sort of struggled, Nick, I thought, if I knew I couldn't fail, what would I try and do?
Yeah, but not everyone's like that, Suki.
No. Nick, you know, what I'm saying is, let's try and be, you know, try and think of something positive in life to focus on, you know. I've been at the lowest point. I was Tom Stewart, you've got 2 arms, 2 legs, you can see, get up, try and do something different. You know, sure you've got £6,000 credit card, sure you've got 40,000 next equity, sure you've got 40% paycheck. Sure. Just try something else.
Suki, well done with poker. Good luck with it. Coming up after the news, how are Londoners getting ready for the announcement of the years?
But there's another condition with the new Tier 2. It applied to Tier 3 last time. So if you had an alcoholic drink, a mulled wine...
Oh, yeah, a hot substantial meal.
Correct.
There we go. Rishi Sunak helping Theo Ashwood with his inquiries there. How have Londoners treating it? We'll give you that after the 9:45 LBC News Headlines with Simon Conway.
The Chancellor's insisted people will see a tangible difference under England's new COVID restrictions, despite expectations areas will be in the higher tiers. Exeter's Nightingale Hospital will receive its first coronavirus patients later to take pressure off the local hospital trust. And more 800 jobs are going at the owner of the Harvest and Free Chain. They're mostly
line job. In Bedfordshire on the M1 northbound to junction 11 at Dunstable. That was following an accident. All the lanes are open here as well, but there are still delays from junction 10 at Luton Airport. In Hampshire, 1 lane's had to be closed on the M3 northbound between junctions 4A at Farnborough and 4 at Camberley. A car has broken down, and that's also very busy on the approach.
Coming up at 10 on LBC, James O'Brien.
We will find out 11:30 what the next chapter of the coronavirus saga is going to look like, depending on where you are in England.
James O'Brien on LBC.
It's Lidl's Pick of the Week. Save up to 30% with 6 fresh fruit and veg deals. And bonus Black Friday bargains. Like a selection pack of 10 steaks for just $19.99. All this and more Black Friday deals in Lidl stores now. Now that's Lidl on quality and always Lidl on price. Subject to availability, selected stores excludes NI.
You can't put a price on staying safe, but Trusted PPE can cut the cost. Order any size antibacterial hand sanitizing gel and we'll give you 50% off in our Black Friday event. Order before 4 p.m. weekdays for same-day dispatch from trustedppe.co.uk. Rated excellent on Trustpilot.
At Lloyds Bank, we know the little things can make all the difference. That's why our branch colleagues are making calls to our older customers, just to check in and make sure everything is okay. We've already made over 400,000 phone calls this year, and because we know it's essential to keep in touch, we will continue calling our customers over the coming winter months. Lloyds Bank, by your side. Please remember, we'll never call to ask you to move money.
This Black Friday, get 25% off the Hive Smart Thermostat. It works seamlessly with the existing heating and smart speakers, so you can control your heating with your voice.
Alexa, turn the heating on.
Start your smart home today and get a free Amazon Echo Dot when you order the Hive Smart Thermostat from hivehome.com. Black Friday offer ends 30th of November. Hive products require broadband and Wi-Fi. Terms apply.
After this year, Tesco says there is no naughty list, so everyone deserves a great Christmas. Which means you can indulge in our 3 for 2 offer on chilled party food. Now there's an appetizing deal for starters. Tesco, every little helps.
Cheapest item free excludes Express ends 3rd of January.
After the year we've had, everyone deserves to have a stress-free festive shopping season.
You can say that again.
Get Christmas clicking at tkmaxx.com for amazing big brand gifts for all your loved ones. And they deliver straight to your door. Splendid. Find big love at small prices this Christmas at tkmaxx.com.
Lorraine here runs her own hot yoga business. She'd rather be working on her warrior pose than on her finances. That's why she got QuickBooks. Now she can get paid, track income, and run payroll all in one place. Because no matter how hot the yoga studio gets, running her business is no sweat. Visit quickbooks.co.uk for details. Enjoy QuickBooks.
Missed the PPI deadline? Don't worry. Fast Track Reclaim, a claims management company, can check PPI on every credit card, loan and mortgage you've ever had. And with Fast Track Solicitors legal action, you could still claim it back, even after the deadline. Find out. Text yes to 82727. You don't need a claims company to check PPI and can claim through a solicitor of your choice.
Fast Track Reclaim. Text yes to 82727.
Save £30 on Ancestry DNA until Cyber Monday and discover the people, places and journeys that led to you, all for the lowest price of the year. Buy your Ancestry DNA kit today for just £49. Price excludes shipping costs. Offer ends 30th November.
Nick Ferrari at breakfast on LBC. Call 034.
You have to say, Mark, good morning.
Hello, Nick.
Hello, sir.
Honestly, I'm no cheerleader for this government. I think they've made some unbelievably stupid errors during this pandemic, and I'll agree with a lot of what Rocco Forte said, actually. But a bit of perspective needs to be brought into this issue about people getting financial help when they're paid by dividends. I'm somebody who has his own company and pays himself by dividends, and I appreciate that I am treated and I did it because my accountant told me to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he told me to do it
because it's tax
he said you're treated. Sorry?
It's a tax efficiency.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm treated much more favourably by the tax system over the course of, in the 20 years I've been doing this, I've been treated much more favourably by the tax system than I would have been if I'd been on straightforward PAYE.
Yeah.
Or, indeed, if I was like my daughter and just self-employed and paying, a higher tax rate.
Right.
We all know that. That's the reason we do it.
Yeah.
And I think the Chancellor, he's not a numpty like one of your previous callers said. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's basically looked at the numbers and said, right, these people who pay themselves by dividends are often in the higher wage brackets.
But not
That's
always.
why they do it.
But not always.
Not always, but...
As the gentleman I was speaking with earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, true. But for policymakers, I think you have to look at it on a macro level. And a lot of these people, given that the furlough payments were capped anyway, they wouldn't have made much difference to their overall income normally. But the main point I want to make is that, over the course of many, many years, or however long you're doing it, are treated much more favourably. I won't go into the numbers. We all know what the numbers. Anyone who pays themselves by dividends knows. I'm always amazed at my level of income tax at the end of the year, which I pay on the button.
Right.
And I'm happy to pay it, because I know I'm treated very favourably by the tax authorities, and I think that has to be borne in mind, because there is only so much money to go round.
And they can only spend £1 once, as we always say. Mark, thank you for your input and a very level-headed approach to it all. I'm only finishing to get other people involved, and some who've not done, I think, as well as you. David in Wembley. How's it been for you, David, these last 8 months? Good morning.
It's been crazy, Nick. How are you?
Hello, sir. I'm not bad. What about you? Tell me what it's been.
Yeah, so basically, over the course of 8 months that I got into debt, I was employed prior to coronavirus happening. When coronavirus actually started, I was actually self-employed.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to get any of the grants because I was previously PAYE.
Right.
So, but I mean, my taxes have been paid for the last 10 years, so I don't know why they haven't been able to help me out much.
Well, sorry, but why is it? Sorry, tell me why you've fallen through the cracks.
I've fallen through the cracks because I was PAYE prior to coronavirus happening. But when coronavirus actually came out, and I was self-employed.
How long had you been self-employed?
Well, basically, 4 or 5 years ago, I was self-employed, and I had to change over to PAYE because I was working in Heathrow Airport.
And so you're exactly as is one of the callers, and I'm afraid, and I say again, that they've had 8 months now. We can understand why they didn't get it the first time around, but as I challenge Rishi Sunak, David, again, I'm sorry, will they awaken to